música de Harry Fraud.
So it came up in my brain right now. Who's got bigger balls, an actual bald eagle or the eagle who's at master control?
Do they have balls? Because they're birds. It's a different.
But who's got
process.
bigger balls, the bald eagle or
It's
eagle?
a different process. What's the process, please?
Well, they fertilize the eggs. Like high school biology, bro.
Who is a better football player?
While you were taking sciences, I was in gym classes.
Cool.
All right, cool guy.
How's the rope?
The rope, I never.
How was it when the teacher looked?
That's what that's called the playoffs for Division 1, Division 2. Division 2 is now officially complete. They'll start their playoffs next week. We'll get to that very shortly here. Let's recap the week that was in Div 1 and Div 2. And I don't think Vince is going to be able to talk and eat like he was last week.
I got you, Mo. I got you.
I know you do, as you always do, right? I think he might be full after one bite. All right, let's get on to it. The week that was.
Well, no, he's not Mo Khan. So.
No.
Hey, you need condiments with that?
No.
Shut up.
No water either. Doesn't help. Water doesn't help.
Shut up. The week that was. Let's go through the Div 1 games. Look, surprised by any of the outcomes of what happened. Flag Marsac wins. D-Boys wins. Finest wins. DK wins. Flag Marsac 2 in a row. They really made things difficult for others to maybe move up in the rankings. We have an idea who will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know who will be the two out of the 3 teams over there. Number 6 still to be determined. But Flag Marsac had a big influence, though.
But like, does this really surprise anyone? Because we know Flag Marsac have talent, right? Like that's never in question.
I told you after week 6 that they might win the last 4.
Look, if they didn't lose those first 3 games to Finest and D-Boys, then we'd be saying this is a team still in the playoff hunt, and we're talking about maybe CBL not even close to a playoff spot.
Keep in mind that Lunatics didn't have their full roster this weekend. They were missing a lot of key players, and FML took full advantage of it.
CBL, they almost pull off the upset, losing in the last play to Montreal's Finest. In fact, it was going score for score up until the end, where Garrett Taylor got the game-winning touchdown. Surprised by that, how close it was. I know we spoke about it briefly, about Finest almost.
I'm surprised at
losing
the
this game.
outcome because ultimately in a play that should have been stopped for like a 5-yard hook, and Carmen Poliche ends up going for the ball instead of the flag, and he misses, and then Ward takes the ball all the way down to the 1-yard line, and then Taylor makes a freak catch on his back to win the game.
D-Boys easily handles God Skills. Is God Skills now eroding at the wrong time of the season?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just like a preparation game. You get to feel out a defending championship team. Maybe you're not showing them everything. You're not showing them the tricks you got up your sleeve. You're just rolling with the punches kind of thing. And if you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. But you'll take away from the game what you wanted to take away going in.
DK, a much needed win over Rainmakers. In fact, someone from the Rainmakers came to the wrong field, but had time to get to the other field in time.
Kastner.
R. Kastner or Ryan K. I don't know if you want to use
Ryan
that.
K.
Ryan K.
That could be anyone.
That could be too obvious.
Yeah, but luckily for him, he's always really early to his game, so he had time to get to the other field.
The backstory, he showed up to Lachine. I'm like, hey, Ron. Hey, Mo. Yeah, I don't think you're playing it tonight. And he disappeared like a ghost.
It's happened to all of us at least once.
We've all become ghosts.
We've all become
We
ghosts.
once left from. I was in a team once that we all left from a friend's house together, and then we showed up to Brossard. Only to realize our game was at Lachine, so that happened.
And where
Too
was
bad
the
it
house?
wasn't,
Where did you guys leave from?
We're in Brossard. We're at a friend's house in Brossard, so that's why we're there chilling.
Okay.
But like, we got so much time to get to this game, and then we had to hurry our asses to Lachine.
Division 2, I saw this game in person. Terror Squad walloping the Wolverines 46-19.
Yeah, this is bad news for Wolverines.
This is not good news. We'll talk about the Wolverines matchup very shortly here. This is bad timing for them to go on a real, and I'm saying really bad, losing streak.
Yeah, it's very, very bad. I mean, this is the last thing that you want heading into the playoffs. You got probably nobody on the team with confidence, unless somebody on that team is able to round up the guys. Like, let's just go back to week 1, or back to week 2, back to week 3. Let's find what was working then, and let's get back to that confidence that we had. Somehow they got to pull it together and just be them again. But with the matchup they got against Chernobyl coming, it's
In the last 5 games, other than their loss to Dams 25-8, Wolverines have not scored more than 3 touchdowns in one game in the last 5 games of the season.
Yeah, that's the Simon Dagenet like. Let's put it that way.
And in that game,
Wow.
wasn't Carmen Polici throwing?
Carmen didn't do that bad.
Carmen
when he
Polici,
threw.
yeah, but I'm just saying, though, the only game where they scored
right.
more than 3 touchdowns, their own quarterback, Tony Tibet, was not throwing in that game.
Bring back Carmen.
Bring back
Well,
Carmen.
it's too late because the playoffs are upon
Playoffs
us.
start next week.
Thanks, Peace.
Legends beat Salid on the last play.
Being Captain Obvious right here.
Legends once again coming on big victory on the last play.
That
That's
was
now
huge.
2 last play victories for them this year, beating Chernobyl earlier in the year. Now this game over Salid, sending their butts back to the golf courses next week.
Yeah, and you know what? It's warranted because I felt like Salid got lucky in the first half. They had everything bounce their way. Long 4th down, they tossed the ball in the end zone. They end up converting twice. One time you had a ball go through Phil Cutler's hands in the end zone and I'm getting picked, so they don't get the points, and then they converted 2 points in the first half. So they were really lucky to be leading in the first half, and then Legends beat them in the second. And you know what? It's probably better off like that.
ONS, speaking at the right time, they hammer their opponents this week, and this time it was the unfortunate Dams 28 getting their butts kicked by ONS.
Yeah, that's a rough way to end the season. But I saw this game and there was weird things happening in this game. Like it looked like guys were thrown off. At one point, one of Dam's players got held, and they're wearing pennies. They've been wearing the pennies all year long because they don't have jerseys.
Surprise.
Surprise,
Wow.
surprise.
Shocker.
So one of the
Yes, there is.
what's the rule?
Don't be a douchebag.
Oh,
is the rule.
one of the guys gets held, but by the penny, and like barely. And then he turns around, and I forget who it was. Who did this? The big guy, the snapper for Finest. I forget his name now. It slips my mind.
Brian Lariviere.
Brian Lariviere. So we all know how big Brian Lariviere is. He holds the jersey and then he lets go, and then he like kind of apologizes. The guy turns around and swings. He takes a swing at him. And Brian Lariviere is like, what the? And he shoves him a couple yards back, and the guy whips the ball at him right in the chest. Hits Brian right in the chest. Brian doesn't budge. Brian starts walking towards the Loyola exit. And he's like, come. Let's go outside. Come with me. And the other guy's just like mean mugging him. Anyways, it was rough. It was rough, this game.
It's comical.
And the whole time, I'm like, Kevin, just hurry up and get some points because I needed the points for fantasy.
Call timeout, please. Timeout. Hold it.
Yeah, just let's kill the clock. Somebody kill
Officials
the clock.
clock timeout, please. I need the
Killing my
points.
points, man.
You go
Killing
like
my
technical
points.
timeout. Are they allowed to wear pennies?
Yeah, technical timeout. Can we
Yeah.
just give Kevin stats?
Dams 25 bring jerseys next year. If you come back in springtime, May 15th.
They'll come back.
Get them at Sportira, our home of the
Yes.
podcast, and official providers of FPF jerseys and uniforms.
Yeah, that's just right. They can make you home and away uniforms here at the Sportier Cage. Let's go to the race for Division 1 here. We know Div 1, and we'll talk about the big injury news that has surfaced to life that happened in Hebert on Wednesday night. The race for first place, we know it's all D-boys. They will not be falling any further than first place. Second place, we still got Finest Got Skills. If Finest were to lose, Got Skills were to win, they would jump in for the bye spot for number 2. Finest would drop into the 3 spot.
Yeah.
You still have Finest as the 2?
Yeah, absolutely. I have both. What happens is I have both these teams winning their last game. I think Finest takes on Rainmakers.
Yes, that's correct.
Exactly. So I have Finest beating Rainmakers this week, so they're gonna hold down the second place. God Skills is playing, I believe it's Lunatics.
I'll check that out. God Skills is playing Fly Moissac.
Okay, I found out. So that I still think God Skills is going to win this game. So I think they're just going to hold down second and third. The last 2 seeds are going to get shot.
If the whole serve were 2 and 3 is Finest and God Skills, that means 4 and 5. Essentially, still in play for the Rainmakers if they were to win and see one of those 2 teams lose, Lunatics or DK, who are right now are in the playoffs, but they don't know if they're going to be either a 4, 5, or 6 in the playoffs as we speak.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's dive in more into the Div 2 playoffs here. Let's go into this head on first here because they will begin next week. They will not play this weekend for the last part of the regular season here. We'll go the first game on hand. Chernobyl against Wolverines. Chernobyl won 35-14. Patron had 5 TDs. Tony Tibet had 2 TDs, 2 INTs the last time they played each other. On paper, is this the biggest mismatch out of the 4 games that we have this weekend?
Absolutely, I think so. And you know what? Chernobyl's had a rough time all year long, but in terms of matchups, this is exactly what they need. This is what they want. You got a team with Tony Tibet, a quarterback that runs a gimmicky offense with one really good stud receiver in Eric Calvajan against a defense that will shut down the best offenses in Division 2. So put a gimmicky offense up against that. I mean, it's going to be tough for them to score. As long as Pat Chenard finds a way to be more accurate with his balls because it's not. He has a good arm. He's got a great arm. He's got heat behind his throws. It's just he's had a hard time being accurate and giving his receivers a chance to make a play.
I've done a few more Wolverine games of late in Brossard on Saturday nights. They don't look good. They do not look good at all. But mind you, I will give them the benefit of the doubt. Playoff history has been on their side. They've played well in the playoffs.
They show up. They show up to play.
They show up. Even if they lose, they still show up where it comes down to the last 5 plays of them win, lose, or whatever overtime situation here. And look, we go to the next question here for this. Wolverines scenario to playoff for them in their favor. Is it on Tony to bet or on the Wolverines defense to win this game or have it at least go their way early on?
Well, defense is gonna have to show up big because I feel like Tony's gonna have a hard time. So if Tony gets 3 or 4 scores, that might be the max he's gonna get.
Only 4 INTs by the defense this year.
Chernobyl?
Wolverines.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, the defense is gonna have to step up big because Tony's gonna do the best that he can, and it probably won't be that good. So defense.
He does blend the game out though, where he does make the game shorter than it needs to be.
But that's the thing with Wolverines is that they either hit you fast or really slowly.
Yeah.
So they need to stick to really slowly in this game and make sure to score or at least push them as far back towards their end zone as possible to give themselves a shot.
Well, that's key. That's key when you have a big underdog because if you make it a game of high volatility where. Look, you score 4 times out of 5, and the other team only gets 5 possessions.
Yeah.
You may win that game.
Yeah, but
you may win that game. The Wolverines can't make a stop.
More than ever, I feel like field positioning is going to be key here because you have Pat Chenard, who hasn't been perfect at quarterback, who's struggled and could on any given play he could be a little bit off, and you get a tip ball for a pick. You get like one of these gimmies. You get like a free, you know what I mean? Like you catch a break. I feel like that's what might happen, but so you have to force their hand hard here.
I really think that. They just can't force turnovers. I mean, 4 INTs, only have 5 total sacks. No. The Wolverines' downfall the last couple of years, and it's not to say they don't know how to figure out who the rusher is, it has been the rush position. They've not been able to force field position where it becomes 2nd and 25 or 3rd and 8 as opposed to 3rd and 1 because their pass rush has been anemic. Mm-hmm. And like Pat Chenard, you made a great point, Vince. He can run it, he can throw it, and if they can't kill off one of the 2 weapons that he has and make him a 1-weapon scenario, they're not going to have any chance in this game here. But speaking of Chernobyl, though, are they the most polarizing team in the playoffs? Because you look at the way that they've lost their games this year, lost to the Legends on the last play on the Hail Mary, have underachieved in other games, have come out of nowhere to win games that they weren't supposed to win here. What Chernobyl team are we going to expect next week?
I like to give them benefit of the doubt. With the team, they got Mathieu Tsuat, they got Max Giroux, you got Nick Arsenault, Pat Chenard. These are good. These are really good players. These are Division A, Division 1 solid players. So you know what? I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt. They're going to turn up because it's playoffs, and they're going to put a whooping on the Wolverines.
Look, they beat the Wolverines just 2 weeks ago, and it's no there's no 2-month gap between them playing the Wolverines, so we'll see what happens in that game. ONS Monstars. Now, last time these two teams played each other, 56-48 victory for ONS. Kevin Wyatt, 6 TDs. Rob Mashtub had 7 TDs, 1 INT. Chris Millard had 3 receiving TDs. Is this a game, and I'll ask you this question, Pease, because you know Monstars very well yourself. Mm-hmm. Is this game first one to 60 points wins?
I think so. The Monsters offense has been remarkably prolific into Division 2, which we didn't expect necessarily, but they've been an offense that's gotten better and better through time and shown that it works in the higher divisions as well. So, you know what? I can't see a reason why they wouldn't score a ton of points, and I can't see a reason why this wouldn't be a shootout.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't pick a fight with Kevin Wyeth. I mean, I wouldn't want to end up in a shootout, but you got the quarterback who's going to win quarterback of the year in Rod Mashtub. I feel like he might want to pick that fight.
But it's not about picking a fight. Like, look, this also isn't the finest. This is ONS featuring Kevin Wyeth.
But it is Kevin Wyeth.
Rod Mashtub and his boys.
It is Kevin Wyeth, and he's got
Chris
Chris
Kevin Wyeth
Payson,
and his boys too.
He's got Scott Payne. He's got Tony Lala. He's got really good receivers on this squad.
And these are guys he grew up with in Chateauguay.
And when you throw a perfect ball consistently, it doesn't really matter who's playing defense.
I think this game has the fingerprints of a 60-point first one there wins the matchup.
I wouldn't say 60.
Wow, there has to be a better way to word that.
That's a lot of points. I'd say first to 45.
How
No,
about
I'm a Mo.
44?
I wanted to see fireworks in this one.
Yeah, but you'll never get 60 points in playoffs. Never, ever, ever. No way.
Let's do
Funnier
it.
things have happened.
If you guys are watching, make Vincent Nardone look like a jackass.
Oh, I know why are watching right now.
Yeah, what's up, Kev?
They're probably going to text me, you idiots, making fun of Kev, can't pass for 60 points? Anyway.
What's his wife? Shelly?
Yeah, Shelly.
Shelly's gonna tweet something bad about you now.
The Monstars, can they shake off the stigma of being a great regular season team that went 6-4 this year, but in years past they've done very well in the regular season, and then end up being a one and done in the playoffs? Because as great as they are, and you brought up the point that like it's Ron Mashup and his boys, and they've been together for quite a while now as a unit. They have not performed well in the playoffs when they're called upon.
Yeah, but they haven't had the Pilons in the past. I think that really opens up their offense. It makes them a more interesting team at the very least. This is as good as we've seen this group perform, and I think that the acquisitions of the Pilons really add a ton.
Yeah, I agree. And the only problem that I have is that Rod doesn't throw a perfect ball. He throws a good ball. He throws a ball with accuracy. He's smart. He buys time with his feet, and therefore opens guys up downfield. And I think this is going to be one of the benefits that he's going to have against ONS, which is a team without a rusher. Let's face it.
Right.
So I feel like that's the only reason why they're going to stay in the game against a team like ONS, where they should be able to win games, but they can't because they don't have a good defense.
I'm just curious to see how anxious Rod will be in the opening playoff game because, look, it's the first game of the.
He's a smart guy.
He is, but quarterbacks have that. As great as he's been in the regular season.
Okay, I get it.
He might be rushing his throw, a half a second too early or a half a second too slow in that regard.
Yeah, but then you'll have Jadaridi there in his ear telling him to calm down, like that.
81 catches of him.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry about it. They're confident. They're a confident bunch. I feel like they're going to maybe a little bit overwhelmed to start the game, but...
So, speaking of Jadaridi, who will have a bigger game, Scott Payne or Jadaridi? And we look at the numbers for Jadaridi this year, and he had a marvelous season 4.
They both had really good seasons. And Scott's got less games.
Did anyone else realize Jadaridi has as many catches as he has? He has 900 career catches in FPF.
Yeah.
That's a big
He
deal.
leads FPF.
Yeah, he does. We're looking at launching the record book, and as such, Eagle and Master Control.
I'm just waiting for Tony Corey to call, email Eagle and say, no, I have 905 catches. That's incorrect. Tony Corey.
Cool story, bro.
I'm telling you,
Tony Corey.
Cool. Lies on his shoulder than Scott Payne. Scott Payne's got at least like a supporting crew or cast to help him out, like Payne Sano, like Tony Lala, like I was referring to earlier. I feel like a lot of pressure is on Jadaridi and the grinding underneath passes.
And that might be his outlet when it's all said and done, because we know Rod Mashub loves to go deep. Jazz underneath stuff for 4 or 5 yards per catch.
Well, Jad also catches those deep balls. He'll go for corners. He'll go for deep outs. And he'll also turn up and get those yak yards.
Which defense has to play better? You look at the ONS, 4 out of the last 5 games have given up 39-plus points. Monsters have given up 30-plus points 7 times this year.
Defense will be irrelevant in this game.
But who's got to play better, though? We talk about
Neither will make a stop,
Wolverines,
so
right?
it won't matter.
But someone's got to make a stop, though. Someone's got to put them in fourth and long, though.
Nobody. Just
won't
be
be.
offense does whatever they want.
Kevin's not going to throw a pick. So I think ONS is going to step up. ONS defense is going to step up. Because it doesn't matter what defense you put up against Kevin. He'll beat you with his arm. He's going to beat you with accuracy. Doesn't matter how good you are in terms of positioning or how close you are to the receiver. He's going to beat you with a perfect throw.
He'll beat it, so to speak.
He'll beat it. Just
Fair enough. Then. Moving on.
Get that song queued up for break time, Eagle, or after the show.
Eagles, small balls. Who's got bigger balls, the bald eagle or the
We'll look it
eagle?
up.
We already went through this.
Look it up on Wikipedia. Yes, we are original here.
Clockwork CLR.
Clockwork CLR. Clockwork 34-18 victory over the CLR Forces. Marco Mastiotto 5 TDs. Fred Dupree 3 TDs, 2 INTs. Kalaboski and Tony Olani with 4 TDs combined. I think they have, but I'll ask this question. Have CLR underachieved this season? I think they have regressed a little bit.
Yeah, I think they have as well. I think they peaked early. They started the season off wonderfully. I mean, they had a good start. They started off strong, and then they kind of lost their ways. And I think it was correlation with Guillaume's injury. Straight correlation with Guillaume's injury. As soon as Dupree lost that receiver, lost that thread, lost that speed on the outside, they started losing games.
Clockwork, no one's really talked about them really in depth, giving them the proper due because, look, they have been under the radar pretty much for most of the season. How dangerous is this squad?
Well, we tend to stay away from teams that from players that get attention in Division 1. Guys like Marco Masiocha, Antonio Olani. But on this team, guys who don't get praised enough, like Rich Humes, Kyle Lebowski, like there's a lot. Pampana. He's an underrated player in flag football, and he's playing on a broken ankle. But the key here is Marco Masiocha's injury.
Which we'll talk about later on.
Well, we'll talk about it now because it matters right now.
Well, it does.
Marco Masiocha got hurt last night playing with Brotherhood. You saw it live.
Oh, I did. And
it didn't look good when it happened live.
Did not look good when it happened live. Speaking to him, didn't seem. How can I say this? He wasn't optimistic, or he wasn't. He was saying to himself, "Look, if I can play this weekend, I will. If I can't, I'll hold off until next week."
Well, he said exactly what I thought he would say to me. He told me if he can stand on it, he's going to play on it. He can throw. What matters is that he won't be able to play D.
No.
If he plays D, I don't think he should. And if he does, he's going to be at 50%?
If at best.
And like he said, the matchup in this game would have been him against Ward on defense.
And that could be a prelude for the Division 1 battle if it ends up being that.
Exactly. It kind of shuffles things. It shakes things up, not having Marco.
I'm curious, though, how much of an impact, and PZ, you can chime in on this as well, the quarterback position for Marco Masiocha, because I believe it was his right hammy that gave him the tire blow up on the field. I'm curious to know how that affects his throwing motion, if anything.
Well, that's his plant foot, isn't it? Like it's his back leg.
Yeah.
So all the power is generated from
Yeah.
that back leg. I would say it's a huge thing. Speaking of huge, it's hard to tell how big the balls are.
Yes.
Balls are for eagles because male birds don't really have testicles. Unlike mammals, it's all on the inside. They don't even really have a penis, so to speak. So. Yeah, so eagle kind of wins by default because
I think the Eagles still win. Though.
Even the actual eagle versus eagle.
The Eagle.
So even though he has,
bird.
you think he's just like a deflated sack, like a Tom Brady sack.
Yeah,
so to
exactly.
speak.
Deflated balls
It's
for
possible.
Eagles.
So eagle, sorry, you have smaller testicles than something that doesn't have testicles.
Talk about segue. Marco Masiocha's injury to Eagles' balls.
Perfect.
CLR is 4-2 when games are decided by 7 points or less. Could this come down to a scenario like this for them?
Yeah, I think so. It's just their defense hasn't been clutch this year. CLR defense needs to step up. They have to step up big here.
Look, they allowed Dams 25-8 to hang around, and they still won that game by like 14 points. Wasn't convincing. Look, Rivard's good. Simon Rivard's really good. Bellini's good. They got guys on this team that can play, but again, I just think that you're right. Fred relies too much on Guillaume Ward on offense, but they also rely on Guillaume Ward on defense to make a big play for them, and I think that's going to hurt them in the long run because as they have Kribanet to work with, who's still a stout player for his position at that level.
Boldage. You got a couple.
You got Boldage. You got some good guys, right? But the pass rush has to be key for them to allow these guys to make plays. If they get no pass rush, it's not going to be irrelevant for them in this game against Marco Masiocha if he is fully healthy or half healthy.
And that's often the case, right? You can be a good DB and look bad because your rusher's just not doing his job.
Speaking of not doing the jobs, Legends hashtag no regard.
Yes.
No regard. They did win way back in week 1, 32-27. So it's been 2 months and change since they last played Legends. James Floriani had 5 TDs, Court Becker 4 TDs, 2 INTs, Marco Bertoldi 2 TDs. In your mind, before we break down this game, for No Regard to lose to Untouchables in week 10, they could have easily been a higher seed. Now they drop even lower and face a frenetic Legend team that's playing pretty well of late in the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. How bad of a loss was that for No Regard?
Honestly, I don't think it's a bad loss because at the end of the day, if you want to win a championship, you're going to have to beat these teams. If you can't beat Legends, then you can't beat anybody else in Division 2, right? So whatever your matchup is, you got to beat the team that's in front of you. You got to beat the team you're going to play against the next week, and you got to beat the next team if you want to win a championship. So it doesn't matter who you play first. It happens to be the Legends this time. The problem with that is that the last time they played the Legends didn't have Ryan Leonowski. And Ryan Leonowski has been going off hard this year.
Yes, he has.
And No Regard defense doesn't match up very well against speed. Well, you got Jacob Burnett who can match up fine. You got Maxime Giroux,
You got Terry Gerville who can match up with them.
Terry Gerville. Okay, you got good players.
Cole can rush pretty well.
Cola's
If
a great rusher.
You know, he can take out Floriani, and Floriani's biggest problem
Cola
right now.
is going to throw James Floriani off his game.
Who could throw off Corey Pecker off his game? Corey Pecker, we were talking about it briefly yesterday. He thinks the no regard pass
Who
rusher.
Kovacic and Simon Basketballing SPB get the majority of rushes for Predators. Although we've seen James himself actually rush a couple times as well.
Well, maybe they should figure that out.
The bye week, Sir with Ice, Glads, Untouchables, Terror Squad. Who's one team? Who does this bye week benefit the most?
Nobody. Well, first of all, it's not a bye week because they play on Monday. Well, one
It's like
team.
a bye day.
Sorry, yeah.
Bye day.
Chernobyl plays Monday coming up.
Yes,
They don't get a week off.
I know,
they play
but
on Wednesday.
they avoid one game
They don't.
for the bye week, though.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Yeah,
for the
bye
bye week. Right.
Yeah.
Who in those teams doesn't play in the
Okay,
Division One?
who's more vulnerable then? How about this? Sir with Ice, Glads, Untouchables, Terror Squad. Out of those four teams, who's the most vulnerable right now?
I'd say Serve Ice.
Okay. Puzzles?
Only because those guys don't play on another team, so they're gonna get cold. You know, they're not gonna stay in their beat. They're not gonna get to catch some balls, throw some balls. They're gonna come back a week from now not having played, except for JD, who plays for Wolfpack.
I'm just saying Untouchables. They won the last two games, and we expected them to be really one of the top teams. They won last two games, and
they're
they're
in
riding it
shambles.
hot.
Shambles.
That said, with a week off, we might see them not be able to benefit from the hot end to their season.
Okay, which of these four teams has the best chance to go to the D2 finals? You have to pick one team right now. You got to put down $10 on one of these four teams.
$10.
$10.
Let's do it. $10. Big bet. I mean,
Who are the teams?
we don't gamble for
Terror
money.
Squad, Untouchables, Glads, or Sir with Ice?
Glads.
PZ?
Let me go with Terror Squad. You know what? It hasn't been perfect, but I like what I see.
Glads. I like them a lot.
Cool. So you asked the
Excellent.
question, but really you just want to answer yourself.
I know. Keys for Rainmaker CBL. Keys for Rainmaker CBL. What needs to happen for them to win this weekend? Rainmakers against Finest first.
Rainmakers versus Finest first.
Yeah.
The key?
Yeah.
No key. The Montreal's Finest is going to be Rainmakers. But
Okay,
what's
that
the-
really
what do you
nullifies
want-
the
what
whole
kind of
question.
key? I need Bobby to go off. I need him hard for my fantasy.
So the key
So I
is
need
getting
Ryan,
the ball to
I
Bobby
need Ryan
Mickelberg.
to give Bobby the ball like nonstop.
Ryan Kastner,
That'll
Bobby
be the key.
Mickelberg,
That's
make
basically
it
the
happen.
key. I think Bobby is the key. That's the key.
Okay.
That's your key.
Fair enough. CBL?
Who do I have for CBL? I got Vinny
I don't care
Galano.
who you have.
Vinny Galano being the key.
Chef
Well,
Simon.
that is the key. It's a good key.
Have you ever heard? I told you the question. Simon Daja saying your name.
Yeah. What does he say?
Vinny.
Vinny.
He calls you Vinny also, by the way.
Vinny.
All right, games of the week. Here we go. We have the four Div 1 games, and we'll do the Div 2 playoff ones as well.
Absolutely. I am going
We
to
didn't even do our picks for Div 2.
momentarily.
We'll do the Div 1 games first.
We'll do all the games? I don't
Yes,
have the
we
prep
are.
in front of me.
Let's do Div 3, guys.
So, again, I'm stalling because I was actually on the site.
Div 1 first.
Luckily,
we have them here.
luckily this game, this show is called Soon to Be Fired.
They're here.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Games of the Week as we have God Skills take on Fly One Sack. God Skills are 3.5-point favorites over God Skills.
Give me got skills.
Got skills.
Lunatics take on D-Boys and perhaps the largest spread as D-Boys are favored by 9.5 points over Lunatics.
Lunatics. It's Lunatics.
Give me D-Boys because Marco Mansurge wants those stats.
Yeah, he wants those stats, but he won't be able to play D.
That's okay.
It's all
You know how
about
much
that D.
that affects that defense?
That's
It
right.
affects that defense.
Rainmaker's finest.
Big
We
time.
have.
Rainmaker's finest, the 7.5-point favorite for the
I'm not
finest.
picking Lunatics to win. I'm picking them to beat that spread.
Exactly. 7.5 points for the finest over Rainmakers.
Yeah, I'll take that.
They'll double that.
Finest.
They'll double that.
I
But
don't
the key
know.
is Bobby.
I hear
Bobby.
rumblings in
Give
Vegas.
Bobby the ball.
I hear rumblings in Vegas that Bobby Mickelberg will single-handedly keep this as a one-score game, and we may see an upset.
Yep.
Rumblings in Vegas.
Just give Bobby the
CBL
ball.
DK in a matchup between acronyms that don't mean anything. We see DK as 5.5-point favorites.
Ooh. CBL's fighting for their lives.
So is DK, right? Because they want to
DK's
get
in.
They're in, but do they want to finish 4, 5, or 6? That's
So
the
they're
question.
still in.
I'm just saying. You want to avoid a maybe 3 versus 6 matchup.
Give me DK.
5.5 points, DK. You saying DK?
Yeah, DK.
DK. Div 2.
Div 2.
We had no spreads though.
No spread. So these games.
Oh no!
These
Pieces
games
all
will
fucked.
be picked absolutely heads up.
They're still
No
here.
spread. So we're not looking at the games. We're not looking necessarily as who you would take in a bet, but rather who will win the game. Still loading.
I still have. Who wants to eat this? I can't eat this.
You got it.
Eat it. You. I know you can. You can go for this. Mo can't eat this stuff. He doesn't,
Our
he doesn't eat
games
anything.
of the week in Division 2.
Go for
We
it.
have Chernobyl Circus taking on Wolverines.
I think Toronto wins in a landslide. I think they win
Yeah.
by 10 plus.
I'll give him 20.
No spreads, guys.
No spreads.
sorry,
I know,
sorry,
but 10 plus.
ONS take on Monsters.
Give me ONS.
ONS, they'll win by 5.
Monsters, let's do it. Clockwork take on CLR Forces.
Clockwork, I think they win easy.
Legends, #NR.
Legends.
I think Legends win.
This is gonna be a good game, though.
And I'll give you the lock. They will win on the last play like they have done so far this year
Yeah.
twice.
This is gonna be a really good game.
And that has been your games of the week.
What did you learn on today's episode?
That Eagles have no balls.
I heard that the actual Eagle has no balls.
La música de
Easy.
Harry
Something about balls. Check your
Good-
prostate.
Good night. Good night, Baylor University.
Baylor?
They lost to Yale.
Welcome, everyone. This is the Table of Terror. In case you can't tell, we've had trouble keeping up with all these challenges. It's been nuts. We've decided we're going to just cascade everything to the end. The last week is when we're going to suffer all our punishments. Deez is in debt for 4, maybe even 5 debts so far. So it's going to be fun to see how that shakes out. We have the Box of Terror set up. In case if you haven't watched so far, we have this is the Box of Terror. We choose punishments at random. We choose teams at random. If our team loses that given week, we are forced to face a punishment. And the punishments range from a variety of things. We've seen me wear a kimono. We've seen Mokan have to eat hot dogs and so on and so forth. We have actually on the screen right now the Table of Terror graphics, so you see the punishments right there. Let's get our first contestants on Table of Terror. Mokan, you're going to do some drawing. You're going to draw for yourself, for Deez, and for Chapman. Let's see who you pull
All
out.
right, here we go.
Who's this for?
This is for Chapman.
For Chapman.
Take over.
Take
Division
over.
5B.
Division 5B, take over.
Here's for
This will be interesting because Division 2 and Division 6 have no more games.
here's Deezy. Deezy will have Stir with Ice.
Serve with ice.
They were on a
Division
bye
2.
week actually.
So we'll have to wait for this punishment.
Yes.
We'll have to wait.
All right.
So
and
that's as positive as this gets, by the way, is wait a little bit.
and
Mokan.
Mokan will select.
Mokan's punishment, Mokan's ticket last week was his mom has to make his pick, so we'll see how that goes.
Diablos.
Diablos in Division 6. Diablos have a playoff game coming up after this bye for Division 6. We got Terry Tam coming up next. Terry, please choose for yourself. GM, collect your ass.
Oh, this is for GM?
Sit down.
Okay,
No one wants to sit at your
This is
crotch.
for GM.
For GM.
The best fun.
In Division
Division
5A.
And then for Terry Wonderboy Tam.
He is the Wonder Boy.
There was my new nickname. Oh, this one's never a fresh one. Show me your TDs.
Division
Get down,
4B.
boys. Division 4B.
Show them, make them TDs.
I love TDs.
Vince Nardone. Vince, have a seat. Vinny's moonwalking over. Have a seat, Vince. What do you got?
I beat these guys this year, so I hope they're gonna do better this week.
Black shirts. They have a tough matchup this week. I don't remember, but I remember it being tough. Always. Brett Callender, you're the next contestant on the Table of Terror. Brett, stop talking. Sit down.
I would just like to say this Table of Terror brings no fear in my heart.
Yeah, wait.
I have
You
not
can
had
get all your punishments now.
Yeah, he does, eh? Akid.
You have to do it on his behalf.
On his no. Division 5B Green Lantern Corps. Let's go, Mendy Cardachon.
GLC. Or as Mokan calls him, Green Lantern Corpse. Simon Dagenet is up next.
So what I got this week? Am I getting fucking fantasy hawk again?
How'd your fantasy hockey team do last week, Eagle?
BMS Goats.
They lost. BMS go to which division?
5A.
5A.
Can't you read?
I didn't see it. Eagle and Master Control. You're up next. Have a seat.
Hello, peace.
How's it going, Eagle?
Hello, wonderful people. So
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
happy St. Patrick's Day. I won last week, eh?
Oh, I don't even know.
I actually
We're so indebted.
I looked myself up just to be sure. This week I've selected from Division 3, the Brotherhood.
That's a good pick.
That's a very good
I don't even
pick.
care who they're playing
That
against.
is a very good pick. I know Marco's not going to be there, but that's a very
Still,
good pick.
that's a stacked team. And did we miss anyone? No. And I'm up next, finally. Oh, God. Wait, who won? Who won FPF Junior? Was it the Wolverines? I picked the Wolverines in FPF Junior. I'm going to double check. I think they lost. Eagles checking. Anyway, I believe I lost this week in advance. Great. Another punishment. I want to thank everyone for tuning in this season. Watch next week so you can see all the Table of Terror punishments as we will. I did lose this one as well. So tune in next week as we do our final punishments. It's been fun. Hopefully you tuned in and watched because that's been the whole point of this, to get you guys to tune in, see all the ridiculous things we do. It's been a great team building experience. The FPF media team's never been closer. It's been fun, and it's given us the opportunity to get to bond and have better communication when covering your games. And it's allowed us to have a greater depth of coverage as well. So I hope you've truly enjoyed it. Please let us know what your thoughts are on the media this season, as we do all this for you. So stuff you like, stuff you don't like, stuff you've been insulted by. If you've been insulted by it, we'll probably do it more. But in any case, let us know if you like it and let us know if you hate it, because again, this is our gift to you, FEF faithful. For those who made the playoffs, enjoy. For those of you on the cusp, week 9, go out there, ball out. And for those who've already clinched, this is time for you to sharpen your skates, get ready, and get ready for the first week of the playoffs. Thank you all for tuning in for Table of Terror. I'm Peace Del Ruiz. Have a great week.